Welcome back to another episode of Business Basics with Nick. Absolutely love talking about these basic things you need to get your own business started, whether it's a side hustle, a startup, or any kind of business that you're trying to kick off. These are the things that I think are important, and I hope that you're paying attention because they really are. This episode, I want to talk to you about cash flow. This is one of the most contentious issues for any business because there is a very fundamental difference between the cash in your business, the cash going out of your business, invoices that you've got that are coming in that haven't been paid yet, expenses that are coming your way that haven't been deducted. And it's often very confusing when you look at your business and you've got all these invoices out, but you're not making any money and you can't figure out why you can't pay your bills. And that's how you go bankrupt. That is how businesses come to a close. Now, this is not a small business startup issue. Cash flow management is one of the most imperative business skills you will ever learn. I can't emphasize this enough. If you aren't understanding what your cash flow is doing in your business, then you have a problem. Whether you are a billion-dollar business or you've made your first sale, it's incredibly important to understand your cash flow. So let's say that word again. Cash flow counts. So let's figure out what it is, right? Here's a really simple way to understand cash flow. Cash flow is the money moving in and out of your business. And if there is more money moving out of your business than coming into your business in cash terms, then you've got a very big problem. So let's say that you've got invoices that you've issued to your customers for R1,000,000 or $100,000. If you've got expenses to pay tomorrow that exceed the amount of money you have in your bank, and those invoices of $100,000 are only due next week, you are technically bankrupt. You technically can't cover your expenses. So the thing that you have to do is manage the invoices that you issue, the due date for those payments to come in, collecting that debt, and making sure that the expenses that you need to pay are able to be covered by the money in your bank account right now. Invoices that aren't getting paid soon are not relevant to your cash flow today. They're relevant for your cash flow planning. So this week you've got $100,000 in your bank account, but you owe $50,000. Cool. This week you've got $10,000 in your bank account. You've got $150,000 coming in a month, but tomorrow you owe $100,000. You're $90,000 shy, and now you're in trouble. This is why cash flow management is such a key business skill. It doesn't matter how many sales you're making if the money from those sales is only hitting your bank account weeks after you owe payments to your suppliers. Now, there is no way around this. You have to spend less than you have in your bank account. You have to earn more than your expenses are, and then you've got a profitable business. And you can now start to see how we tie together the sales that you make, your income and your expenses with the cash flow management that you need to keep your business alive. It really is one of the most fundamental business principles to understand. This very simple concept has sunk so many people and so many businesses because they think they're better or smarter or faster or wilier than managing their cash flow properly. There is no way around it. If you don't manage your cash flow properly, your business will go bankrupt, and that is that. There are some things you can do to manage this, and if you've ever worked for a big corporate or invoiced a big corporate, you'll understand what I mean shortly. Payment terms are a way to manage your cash flow. So the shorter the payment term, the better for your cash flow. Lots of corporates will ask you to have 30, 60, or 90-day payment terms, which means you do the work for them, you invoice them, and only 90 days later do you actually end up getting paid for the work you've done. That needs to be taken into account when you are managing your books, because if you do work today, you send the invoice tomorrow, you're not going to see money for 90 days if those are the payment terms. So you have to survive paying off your expenses between invoicing and 90 days later. It's a really simple method that a lot of big businesses use to hold on to their cash flow, generate extra money out of that income. So they're generating interest on the money that they should be paying you because it's sitting in their bank accounts. Now, I'm not in any way saying that you should have those payment terms for your suppliers. That sucks. When I was running my sock company called Nick Harry, we made a point of paying our suppliers upon invoice. Now that had two really interesting knock-on effects. The first was our suppliers absolutely loved us. They made sure that we got treated well. They loved everything we did. They gave us our orders first. It also meant that my cash flow management was extremely tight. So I would then talk to my people who owed me money and make sure that they were paying me bang on time. Negotiating payment terms is one of the key ways that you can make sure that your cash flow is managed effectively. If your payment terms on invoices is significantly longer than your payment terms to your suppliers, you've immediately got a problem, and you need to reassess how quickly you're getting paid versus how quickly you're able to pay other people. Now remember, there are two ways to make your business profitable: earn more money or spend less money. Cash flow helps you understand which of those you need to turn on quicker. So that is the episode on cash flow. I'm really excited to see what businesses you're going out into the world to build. Please don't forget that if you go to slowhustle.org, I am giving away 1,000 Rand every single day, plus 30 minutes of coaching to a side hustle that is eligible so that they can kickstart their own business. So check out slowhustle.org for that. But until then, don't forget, it's up to you to do the work, and I can't wait to see what businesses you put out into the world.